If you've ever had an eye exam, you absolutely know the routine, right? You're looking through that big, complicated machine, and you hear that classic question: which is better, one or two? But have you ever stopped to wonder about the incredible mix of art and science that's happening just behind that lens to bring your world into sharp focus? Well, let's pull back the curtain and dive into this fascinating process. So here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the basics. What is refraction anyway? Then we'll get into the pure science, the objective data the machines gather before you even say a word. After that, we'll see how the science hands off to the art, where your personal feedback is everything. We'll also cover that crucial test drive of your new vision, and then wrap it all up by looking at what it really takes to master this skill. So, let's start with that word, refraction. What is it? It's not just some random procedure. It is the absolute foundation, the cornerstone of all eye care. It's the method your eye doctor uses to figure out the exact prescription you need for the sharpest and, just as importantly, the most comfortable vision. Put it this way, without refraction, glasses and contact lenses just wouldn't be a thing. Okay, so every single refraction kicks off with a purely scientific approach. This first phase is called objective refraction, and it's all about getting a solid, data-driven starting point. And this is all done before you're asked a single question. Now, the key thing to get here is that this part happens entirely without your input. Seriously, you just sit there. Think of it like a detective arriving at a crime scene. The clinician is gathering all the raw physical evidence, the fingerprints, so to speak, of how your eye bends light, long before they start asking you, the witness, what you saw. So how do those fancy automated machines actually work? Well, they use some incredibly clever principles. For instance, some of them shine a completely harmless pattern of infrared light into your eye, and then they analyze how that pattern gets distorted when it bounces back off your retina. Based on that distortion, the machine can calculate a surprisingly accurate prescription in just a few seconds. It gives the doctor a fantastic starting point. But you know, technology isn't everything. Even with these amazing automated devices, the good old-fashioned manual skill of retinoscopy is still absolutely essential. By shining a light and just watching the reflection from your retina, a skilled clinician can judge the quality of that reflection. They can spot subtle little issues that a machine might completely miss. And this is especially critical for really complex cases and, of course, for kids who can't really give that one or two feedback. So once that scientific baseline is locked in, the whole process shifts. It moves from pure measurement to what is really a collaborative art form. This next stage is called subjective refraction, and this is where you, the patient, become the most important piece of the entire puzzle. This slide just sums it up perfectly. We're moving from the objective, what the machine measures, to the subjective, what you, the human, actually experience. You could say that science gives us the rough draft, but it's your personal perception that edits it into the final, perfect script for your vision. Ah, yes, the famous question. This simple phrase is really the heart and soul of subjective refraction. When the doctor asks you this, they're using a special device, usually a Jackson Cross cylinder or JCC, and they're using it to meticulously fine-tune the correction for your astigmatism, dialing in both the power and the angle based entirely on your choices. And here's how all those pieces fit together in a logical flow. First, you take that scientific starting point from the machines. Next, you find the best general focus, which is called the sphere. Then you use that one or two technique with the JCC to nail down the astigmatism. And finally, you have the crucial binocular balance, which makes sure both of your eyes are working together as a perfect team, not fighting each other for focus. And here is the secret goal of this whole interactive dance. It's not just about making the letters on the chart look sharp. The real goal is to find the least powerful lens that can still give you that sharpness. Why? Because this prevents the focusing muscles inside your eyes from having to work overtime. It ensures your vision is not only clear, but also comfortable and totally relaxed. So, once all the numbers are dialed into the big machine, it's time for the real-world test. This is where the clinician often brings out the trial frame, and this might just be the most important confirmation step of the whole exam. Think of the trial frame as a fully adjustable mock-up of your brand new glasses. It's fantastic because it lets you experience the new prescription in a natural way, not with your head locked into a machine. This is literally your chance to test drive your new vision. You can walk around the room, look out the window, glance down at your phone before the final glasses are even made. But using that trial frame correctly actually requires a ton of skill. For example, the exact distance of a really strong lens from your eye can change its effective power. I mean, placing it just a couple of millimeters too far out can completely throw off the entire prescription. It's a perfect example of how precision is absolutely critical at every single stage of this process. So, when we put all of this together, it becomes pretty clear that a final prescription is so much more than just a few numbers written on a piece of paper. To get to that point requires the mastery of a truly complex skill. And ultimately, the reason for mastering all of these techniques, from the cold, hard science to the interactive, communicative art, it goes way beyond just precision. The true goal is to make sure the patient is comfortable, safe, and truly satisfied with their vision. It's about using all this science and art to genuinely improve a person's quality of life. Which leaves us with this final thought. In this quest for perfect vision, we rely on some incredible technology and very precise measurements. But in the end, that perfection is only ever achieved through human interaction and subjective experience. So where do you think the science really ends and the art truly begins?